Insert Dorian.
This is Roy. Roy has opinions, big ones, about everything. From the best Bond actor to why crisps were better in the 1990s, to why the Xbox and the Dreamcast are the superior consoles. But yet, nobody listens. Roy speaks, they scroll. He posts, they ignore. He talks, people forget him. But you can help. For just 30 seconds of your time, you can listen to Roy. You don't have to agree. You don't even have to care. Just nod. Maybe say, "Good point, Roy." Because no man deserves to argue with himself in a mirror. Roy's views matter. Let him be heard. Please, end the silence. Start the slightly awkward conversation. Roy's views matter. Because sometimes, even Roy gets it right.
Guys, welcome back to episode 2 of the Random Retro Podcast. Got myself, Tony Wizbit here hosting today alongside my regular guests. We've got James up there, we have Roy down there, and as always, we have Hollie down there from Holes Games. I will leave links to any of the socials that these guys have, and I think at this stage that is only Hollie. I don't think Roy and James do too much other than this. Look at James, he's just adamant, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just going to be miserable, sit here with my arcade. And before we start, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that watched episode 1. It's been a pretty decent success. It's got a pretty good amount of views. I'm quite happy with it, and the feedback was really, really positive. And I think what was most important is we all had a good time. We all enjoyed doing it. So, yeah, we're going to keep these going. This is obviously going to be episode 2. We've got a couple more lined up. We do have a few special guests lined up as well. I've been working on some of that stuff during the week, but we want to get a bit of a backlog of content before we start bringing other people on. So, as always, the format will be each one of us is going to have a subject that we'd like to discuss, and we'll look to discuss it for 10-15 minutes or so and see what kind of answers we come up with. Now, as always, please, we encourage you guys watching, leave your thoughts in the comments, leave what answers you would give in the comments, and also give the video a like, a share, whatever possible. It greatly helps the podcast and the channel. So yeah, I'll kick off today. And one that's a little bit out there, I'm sure that all of you guys would have seen that there was a Coldplay concert last week, I think it was, which was a little bit controversial. We had a CEO of a tech company and his PA assistant HR lady were caught on camera. I think the world has seen this one now. Now, the reason I bring this up is it's not gaming related, we know that. Anything that has Chris Martin in it, I tend to try and run a mile anyway.
Shout out to Chris Martin.
No, I won't shout out to Chris Martin at all. That we'll edit that bit out, actually. No
We
shout
have
out to
the
Chris
same-
Martin.
We have the same birthday. Fun fact, random fact of the podcast.
That's,
You know what? That says a lot.
And Bon Jovi. There's a lot of people born on that day.
Bon Jovi and Chris Martin. There's things you should keep to yourself, Roy.
Oh, okay. I'll wipe the tears away.
Yeah, next you're going to be telling me that you've got like same birthday Chesney Hawks or something like that. Look, he knows.
Is there one
anyway,
that one is?
Oh, James, I'll put in a drum roll or something there, but dish.
Someone had to play it.
But yeah, anyway, so it's not really game related. However, I stumbled on an article today on the Forbes website where someone has created a video game on ChatGPT of all things related to this incident. So just in case you've been living under a rock, there was a couple having an affair and they got caught on camera at this Coldplay concert, and their attempts at covering it up were absolutely pathetically hilarious. Really, really bad. And like I said, I'll put some uh content, like some video gameplay, if you can call it that, of this game on the video as we're walking it along. So basically, all it is, you just use your mouse or whatever you're playing on. You scroll through the concert with like a large magnifying glass, which is the equivalent of the camera. And you have to find them in the crowd. And every time you do, you get 10 points. And every time you do, you hear Chris Martin say, "Oh, look, they must be shy," or something like that. So it's quite an amusing thing. I played it for around about 5 minutes today, and I could see myself playing it on the train, to be quite honest with you. But what I was quite impressed about with it is that ChatGPT made this in a matter of hours. And it was quite impressive. Look, it's the most basic, shallow game you'll ever play in your life. It was more for an amusement kind of thing. But it was a fun time, and unfortunately, this poor couple, they're going to be in the news for quite some time now. So I don't know. I sent the link out to all of you guys earlier on today. I don't know if any of you has actually had a chance to actually look at it or even play it. Did you ever go, Roy?
It reminded me of like a mini game from Mario Party, where you
It
just
really
got to
is.
find the toads, or you got to count things, and that's the first thing I
Yes.
thought of. And I was like, wow, maybe ChatGPT will make Mario Party 10. Do you know what I mean? Like they
It probably
they
it
could do
probably
it.
could do.
They probably
It
could do
probably
it,
could
to be
do.
honest with you.
But yeah,
But
you're
yeah,
right.
Still wait.
me too. Me too. Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. It is essentially like a mini game that you would
Yeah.
find within a game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else had a go, but I just found it quite amusing. And I don't know whether I would say it's a bit scary that ChatGPT can just make a game like that in a matter of hours, depending on what kind of subscription you've got to that service.
Mm.
I should
It
imagine
just
there's a fairly,
shows.
there's quite a few templates on there. I'm sure it's just swapping a few things over. No,
I would agree. I would agree. They've probably just found, like you said, the right template, described the scenario, and then obviously ChatGPT has gone to work and just done so. They've gave someone the content that was required, the photo of the couple in their arms together before they got caught, and all that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, Chris Martin isn't represented that well on there. He's got dark hair, which I'm not going to fault ChatGPT for that. It's not flawless, is it? I think we've all used it at times and seen that it's not exactly a flawless thing.
I haven't.
But
I've seen Terminator. I know how it goes.
that's because you are scared of a judgment day, James. You probably are the smart one. Yeah,
I've
you're
seen
the
the
smart
film.
one.
I've seen how it goes. Everyone
Yeah.
has a terrible time.
All the rest of us have just ignored the warning signs, really, haven't we? And we know Judgment Day is coming, but we're just contributing it just so we can have a laugh along the way. Now, we'll all
Just so we can
regret it in
speed it
30
up.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. We're speeding it up. We'll all regret it along the way. 30 years' time, we'll all be finished and we'll be looking for John Connor out there to try and help us, or the equivalent of. And it'll be James. James, you'll be John Connor in 50 years' time. No, you will. You'll be the elder statesman. You will be the elder statesman. So yeah, whilst I don't really have a topic per se for that we would discuss in length, I want to try and keep some of the podcasts to sort of like relevant news, as long as keeping it retro as well, aimed at collectors, aimed at game players as well, and sometimes a little bit more of the light-hearted stuff. And I think that really was light-hearted. Maybe not so much for the guy that got caught, because I would imagine owning a tech company, he's going to be giving up half.
He's gone. He stepped down, didn't he?
He's already gone,
stepped. Yeah,
He
yeah.
stepped down, but we all know that's just a token gesture. I highly doubt he's not earning still from the company, but he'll be giving up half to the poor lady that was at home whilst he was watching that Coldplay concert, I would imagine, fairly soon.
And the kids. Mm.
Yeah. So that's my kind of topic for the week. A little bit amusing, a little bit out there, But I think what we'll do now, we will get on to the regular, more meaty topics. And I know what you guys are bringing to the table today. I've already heard what you guys are going to go with. So I think we're going to start this week with you, James. And what is your topic this week?
My topic this week is games that you remember, the most memorable from either your childhood or the last few years that you've played with your friends. Like, I was thinking about this the other day, so we've been trying to find another game to play because we haven't played a multiplayer for about at least a year now. You know, the group we used to have. So I was just trying to think about some good games that we used to play and was reminiscing. And then, funny enough, the game that was most memorable was probably one of the worst games you've got some great games out there, but then this one's like quite generic. And my favorite game was Battlefield Bad Company 2. We had a great time on that for about 6 months. We played that solid, and it was brilliant. Multiplayer, I must admit, it's got age now, but out of all the games you played, that was probably my favorite, and that surprised me. So I was thinking, like, what other games most memorable for you guys?
I think for me personally, how I would view that question is what has brought people together most? You know, good times. So you can look at it from a family point of view, a friend's point of view. And I think I don't think anyone can argue the fact that Mario Kart has got to be up there with a game that has two-player couch co-op or whatever you want to call it. That gameplay has brought families together, sat there. And not only was it doing that in 1992 when it was released on the Super Nintendo, it's still doing it today. I remember sitting there playing that game at 16 years old with all my friends, desperately trying to afford a multi-tap so we could play 4-player, whatever it was. We never could. We always spent the money on something else less desirable, like MD 2020. Shout out to MD 2020. But Mario Kart is... You know what MDM... Come on, James, you know what that drink is. Even Hollie knows what it is.
Hollie won't know what it is, though.
Do you know what MD 2020 is, Holes?
Yeah, of course I do. It's got all different colours.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She might be a bit younger than us, James, but she's still a brum like type girl. She's gonna slap me for that. That country.
Still used to get drunk in a field in my teenage years. Mum, I hope you're not watching, because I was at those sleepovers that I said I was at.
Lies, all lies. But yeah, look, Mario Kart for me is that one that has brought everyone together. It's caused arguments. It's caused laughter. It's done a bit of everything, and it's still doing it today, whether it's online or people sitting down. Now, my alternative answer to that, because I think Mario Kart is going to be probably one of the more, common answers, is Fur Fighters on the PS2. Now, I know it's on the Dreamcast as well, but we didn't have that. But obviously, in my later teen years, we're talking like 19, 20, 21, round about that sort of time. 4-player Fur Fighters. We played that for absolutely hours, and it was brutal. The whole aspect of it. Most of us were probably off our trolley one way or another, so that obviously contributed to the laughs that we had while playing it. And I bought it about a year ago because I found it wasn't in my collection, and unfortunately, I tried playing it at home with a couple of people, and unfortunately, the nostalgia, the magic just wasn't there. So maybe it was my latter teen years, chemically induced evenings that were heavily responsible for the fun that I had with that game. But Fur Fighters for me, definitely over the years, but it's the one that is the all-time greatest of all-time game that's brought people together. My answer would be Mario Kart, and any form of Mario Kart, not just one particular one.
Yeah, I'd reiterate that as well. When I got my Switch 2, I took it to my parents' house, and you had me, my brother, my sister, my mum, my son, and my daughter all playing it together. Do you know what I mean? All taking turns, all playing the game. and that killed like 5 hours on a Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon, and everyone was just dying to get on. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was fighting over who could be next. So yeah, it's a default answer, but it's still like top five answers. Do you know what I mean? It's still like a proper answer. I think for me, the original Xbox, because it had the four ports and it was kind of the next generation of multiplayer games. And I copied James from last week. I thought I'd get some games out, and not a very stereotypical answer is the Conflict Desert Storm series.
Oh wow.
These were
I
so good.
don't own any of them.
These are my original copies. What am I now? 38. So I probably played this. Yeah, these are probably like 20 plus years old, right? And this one in Conflict Vietnam was the third one, and it was me and my two best friends, and that's all we did. We played that, and you each got a character. One was a sniper, one was a machine gunner, one was like the captain. So we just had default weapons, and yeah, you just fighted in all those wars, and it was just really fun. And no one, the fourth player, anyone could be the fourth player. There was a guy called Jones or Jonesy, and he was like the demolition guy. So we always just use a strap C4 to him and just run him in there and just blow him up to blow up as many people as we could. So it's
Sacrificial
like
lamb.
when you, yeah, pretty much. But it's like you make up your own catchphrases and your own songs and your own noises, when you're playing games like that, especially when
Yeah.
you're young. Yeah. So you're like, go in there, Jonesy, go, go, go. And you just know he's going off to his death. But obviously, like Halo as well, like the amount of just weekday afternoons during the summer holidays that we just utterly wasted playing 6 hours of
You're a big Halo
multiplayer.
guy though, aren't you, Roy? I had
I,
a feeling you were going to mention this.
I am, but I think it like there were so many Freedom Fighters, Brute Force, even though they're not very good games. There's just so many games that we all came together to play on the original Xbox, and
Yeah.
some of them are still good now. Some of them are utter garbage. Like you said, sometimes that nostalgia factor doesn't really add up
Yeah,
or
it's a
doesn't
shame.
continue over. Yeah, but even like I've got all my Xbox stuff behind me, and there's just so many like bangers on that system that you can enjoy with friends with four players. So I'd probably go with the Conflict series for that.
Good answer, and not one I would have expected. Holly, over to you.
It's gonna be generic like your guys really, but I grew up in like a Call of Duty era. So Call of Duty was a big thing. So when I was at school, um, realistically, my first console was an Xbox 360, but I never really got into gaming properly until I had a PS3, and that was like not pretty sure that was my brother's hand-me-down PS3. Um, and then it started probably about year nine upwards. Like every night we would be on Call of Duty till like God knows what hour in the morning. Um, I can't remember the actual Call of Duty. Oh God, I can't remember the one. You know where you're in like suits and you can jump higher and you could like pretty much fly. Or I can't remember which Call of Duty that was now, but
Roy,
that's what really set it off. That one.
If we remember from last week's episode, I never once played a Call of Duty game until
Advanced
was it you?
Warfare. It's already come to my head. Advanced Warfare. That was the one that set it off. That was. I mean, a lot of people have got like crap to say about that game, but that's like so
Was it
nostalgic for
like
me.
18, Holly, or 16? Age rating.
Yeah, yeah, but
How old are you?
listen, I was probably about like 14, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
We've already established
Um,
she's a rebel, James. She was out in fields drinking MD 2020, so we don't need to G her up for playing a Call of Duty before her time.
Very, very
shout
disappointed.
out to MD.
from then on, every year it'd be like every end of summer, well, not end of summer, but like end of like break up the school holidays term. Um, my dad would be like, right, that's it now. It's the end of term. You can have the new Call of Duty or whenever it was that it was out, because it usually comes out in November time, doesn't it, or whatever. So we'd all get the game at the same time, and then we'd be playing it relentless, and then it would be the same every year up until we pretty much till we left, really.
You know what I would say about that? Was there a point where you thought to yourself, like, I'm bored of this? Like the whole
No,
Call of Duty thing? No?
no,
What did you go
but I
on
think
to
that's
then?
because what do
You
you
went on
mean
to
from?
Fortnite.
I
So
did
there
go
must
on to
have been a
Fortnite.
game. It's all right.
But that was
Many
because
people do,
I
Holly.
will say it was because I'd left school and I'd made a new group of friends.
Yeah.
And then it was basically start of uni then when Fortnite came out, really, like season one, season two of Fortnite. But then as I got into my early 20s, obviously I don't have the same, I've still got the same mates from school, but I don't really it's different people now, and that I didn't speak to when I was at school, but went to school together. Anyway, the boring story. Warzone came out, and that was it. I was hooked again. I was like, it was constant. I was on it every single night with just literally one of my friends, and her now fiance. We would be on it for ages. I mean, I'd go back on it now, to be honest, but it's changed so much. I probably wouldn't know where to start.
Time consuming as well, isn't
Yeah,
it? When you've got the evenings and that, when you're dealing with the day-to-day rigors of everyday
yeah,
life, you've got to be a lot
yeah.
more choosy about what you pick to play in
Oh,
the
yeah.
evenings, I found.
I did love
I
the
mean,
zombie
I
mode
did
on
have,
Call of Duty though.
yeah,
Sorry, James, speak up a little bit.
I did love the zombie mode on Call of Duty when
yeah.
that got introduced. You play that much?
I did zombies not so much, because I'm a bit of a titty now, but not so much. But I did have what was it, Black Ops the 6, that one that was pre-ordered. Ella pre-ordered me that. And I played that on my own, but obviously it got to a point where because I was playing it on my own, I was a bit bored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I normally
I
get to
did
the
put quite a
first
few hours
end of
into
the
that.
sorry, Hal. I normally get to the end of the first season, then I give up. I play every
Yeah,
year, but I play a month and a half, 2 months max. Then I
yeah.
get
It's 'cause
bored.
I think it's because you're playing it on your own. It needs to be a big group because then it's funny. It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
just pure
I think
jokes.
I
we'll
think
get to
that's why it didn't get boring back in the day playing
Yeah,
Halo for 7 hours every day or Call of Duty every day because we was playing it with our friends. You
Because
know what I
yeah,
Halo
mean?
was a big one, wasn't it? I mean, that kind of really was the first Xbox game that sort of showed you how playing online could be. It wasn't the
Mm,
first Xbox game that was online, but it just
yeah,
showed you the potential of what you had coming forward and down the line. I think Halo was the one that showed everyone
yeah.
pretty much where we was going to be going with this. But did you ever, any of you guys have experienced? See, this is one of the things that put me off playing online with that is that you get astounding cheats online.
Yeah.
Warzone
Yeah, and
PC.
that's always put me off is that
You
people
get
with
more
their,
cheats now though than you did back in the day,
oh,
I
of
think.
course, stuff.
do
Yeah,
you
you
think
Because
can
like
so?
do.
I think so. So I never had Xbox Live when I had it, but one of my circle of friends, the three of us, one of us did, and they lived just across the road, and we would play
Yeah.
Halo 2 online. And I think back then, okay, I don't think we knew about cheating as much as we did now. But now, if you try to play like Master Chief Collection on like the fridge on the Xbox fridge, there's like people showing you how they cheat when they can see players through walls, they can see players like from the other end of the map, just they know where you are. So they know exactly when you're going to walk around the corner. And like, not Bungie, 343, they always kept trying to develop ways to like stop cheaters, but then cheaters went one step further.
Oh,
So
you
I don't
can't
know. I
ever
just
beat
think,
it. All you can do is kind of block it for a short period of time.
yeah, exactly.
And I
Like,
think
I
with
still,
a lot of these games now, Roy, they're like because they're cross-platform.
hmm.
PC owners are always going to be an advantage in that
Yeah,
sense
well, they're
because they're going to
quicker,
be
in
able
they
to
with
Yeah,
the
have
mouse. Yeah,
they're
yeah,
going to have patches and stuff like that. Whereas it's a little bit more awkward, a little bit more difficult to do that on a console to your average player. But
yeah.
great first topic. Like I said, I think what maybe we could do a revised version of that question next time is what games, apart from online, brought you all together, maybe sitting at home playing together. Maybe that's one we can do down the line.
mm,
Um,
Mm.
but then saying that, Mario Kart will probably be the only answer we all come out with again.
Yeah.
Correct.
Streets
Mario
of Rage
Party.
2 or so. Yeah, Mario
I,
Party, stuff
yeah.
like that. Nintendo are
We
going
used
to
to play,
win.
yeah, we used to play multiplayer and Command and Conquer with my brothers when I was kids. That was cool.
See, I'm terrible at those games. You'll never get me using that answer. I was
Space Invaders.
absolutely
I
shocking.
remember as a kid, I used to have one of those. Oh, what was it now? It was basically like a Mega Drive, but it wasn't a Mega Drive, and it had like loads of other games like pre-installed, like Echo the Dolphin and all of that
And
jazz.
knockoff one.
Oh, you bought one of
Yeah,
those
it was basically
terrible
a knockoff
things,
one.
one of the
Yeah,
80 games ones
yeah,
Mm.
that was
at
brilliant.
games.
And even my mom would play that man. So that's telling you something.
Yeah.
She'd be on
No.
there like all night.
All right. So that's first subject. Pretty good one. Roy, let's go with yours next. What have you got lined up for us today?
I think mine's really hard to get a definite answer on, but it's the greatest sequel of all time. So it has to be the second game in the franchise. What do you think is the best kind of leap from the first game to the second game of the
Oh, I thought
franchise.
about since
So
you
I
mentioned
cheated
this,
here.
I thought about
Go on, Hollie.
this.
You give your answer. I
Yeah, go on, go
Googled,
on.
but Hollie, do
I
your
was
answer.
literally thinking about it for hours, and I'm thinking I was going through so many because there is so many genuinely
Yeah, yeah.
that have like succeeded their first game, but in my opinion, it's got to be Batman Arkham City.
Oh,
Oh,
what
good
a good
one.
So much
shout!
better
What
than
a
the
good
first one.
shout! Yeah,
In all the ways, it was better than the first one. I
yeah.
expected it to be a flop, and then I played it, and I was like, incredible! Like, I can't believe how different it is to the first one, and
Yeah.
how much they've improved it. So yeah,
No, Arkham City is a much better game. I think I enjoyed the first one better playing it, but that was probably circumstantial. But as a game, like you said, 100 times an
yeah.
improved version of the game.
Absolutely.
Definitely a
Yeah.
good one. James?
Well, I think I'll pick a bit of an easy one, to be honest, but it's the first one that comes to my mind. I picked Silent Hill 2,
Oh,
Good shout.
just
Yeah,
good answer.
purely
Good
because it's such
answer.
a great game. And then the Silent Hill, when it came out, was brilliant. I really enjoyed the first one, but the second one just ripped it to shreds, personally, I think.
Yeah.
It
You
just
could
changed
see a
everything.
lot of part one, a lot of part two was probably ideas that they had that they would have liked to
Yeah, yeah,
incorporate in the
they just
first
couldn't
one,
put it in there.
but they couldn't do so because of the limitations of obviously the PlayStation 1.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was. I loved that game. I went through that 3 times, Silent Hill 2. But for
I
the
haven't
like,
played the
Well,
remake yet. I've got the
I
remake,
didn't.
but I still haven't played
Mm.
it.
It's
it's good.
I mean,
It's
IGN
good.
gave it a 10. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. So
Mm.
I'm not going to call it a 10 out of 10 one, but I will
no,
say I'll give it a solid 8 if I'm honest with you. I think that for a company, and off the top of my head, I can't remember the company that was responsible for it. They didn't have the greatest of track records
wasn't
when
it
came to
Konami? Or I imagine that.
no, Konami
Konami did the
outsourced it.
original. Yeah.
yeah,
They
just
outsourced the remake. I can't remember now. James, have you got it to
Does it
hand?
still
Who
say it
actually
on the
was the
thing?
developer?
I thought it still says Konami
yeah,
on the case.
Blooper,
Oh, it
Blooper
will do
team did it.
because obviously
They've
they own
out
the
because
game.
they've owned the rights. Yeah,
Yeah, but
fair
they
enough.
outsourced the development to a third party company.
Blooper team.
Oh, there you go. But they just didn't have the greatest of history, so a lot of people were a little bit like, "Oh,
They put
Silent
too
Hill
many
2 in their
enemies in the
hands."
new one. There's way too many enemies. So there wasn't. There's no suspense to be built up. That's what I didn't like
I've
about it.
not played through it, if I'm honest. I've probably done about 4 hours of the game, so I've still got a lot to play on that game. So actually, do you know what? I might jump on that tonight. I think you've jogged something in me to actually get back on that. It's one of those games I want to get my money's worth out of. So it's definitely a game I think all of us should maybe consider going through. Maybe James, for your 19th time, we could all do it and discuss
We do it
it
together.
at a
That'd be quite
later
good.
date. Yeah, that'd be a
We
good
do it
shout.
together.
James
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
could
got it.
guide
thanks for that.
us.
Yeah.
James, you could be our guide.
Yeah, send you all to the depths.
For me, I think Roy, when he posed that question earlier, because what we do try and give each other a bit of a heads up about the questions forthcoming, just so that we can give maybe a little bit more in-depth answers. So your obvious ones are going to be things like Resident Evil 2, aren't they? And Street Fighter 2, which both have got a real good shot at being the best ever sequels, most definitely. But
Your
I'm going to
run
go for
through,
one. What one, James?
your run through Street Fighter, the first one was hilarious.
That was awful. I'll
You
post a link
really
to
did
that
not
video.
enjoy that, did you?
No, if anyone's actually played Street Fighter 1, it's a painful experience. I'll leave a link to my playthrough there. I like that video because I incorporated many clips of Bloodsport in it and stuff
Yes,
like
yes.
that. So that was a real fun video to make. But Street Fighter 2 compared to Street Fighter 1, I don't think I've ever seen such a difference in quality in terms of the
Mm.
games. Street Fighter 1 was more of a game you would see at an arcade and you would stare at because it was quite visually impressive for the time. And the arcade cabinet as well, it had punch pads in some arcades you would go, whereas the harder you punch on the pad would be the harder your hit would be. They never worked because by the time you got round to it, they were battered. But
Okay.
you got those two, but I'm going to go with something a little bit different. and I'm going to go with Mega Man 2 on the
Ooh,
NES.
good shout.
Um, Mega Man 1, brilliant game, but a little bit too difficult. Mega Man 2, I felt, was better in terms of gameplay. It looked the same. There wasn't really any improvements in terms of how it looked. There probably was, but to my young eyes, it was the same game, just over and over. But the difficulty curve in that game, Mega Man 2, that is, it made it a far more enjoyable experience for me playing it. I actually got to finish it on the NES with no cheats. I can remember now, me and a friend bunking off the afternoon at school, making microwave popcorn and sitting down determined to finish Mega Man 2. And we did it. And we got caught by his parents. We all got in trouble, but it was worth it because we actually finished the game. But yeah, I think that's for me. I'm going to go with Mega Man 2. I'm not going to try and have one, like you said. Resident Evil 2 might actually be up
The
there with
best
Street
answer.
Fighter 2. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm.
that was night and day between Resident Evil 1 and the second one. I mean, you can run through Resident Evil 1 in about an hour. Quicker if you just run past everything. You can't do that in part 2. You know, that game we all sat and played, me and my friends, and we finished it in about a bank holiday weekend, I think. We sat non-stop on it and we went through on the Saturday, the Sunday, and the Monday. But that was literally us in front of my like 14-inch portable TV for the entire 3 days. Non-stop. We slept for like 2, 3 hours a night and then back at it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Mega Man 2, just because it's probably a little bit different and probably one that the majority of people wouldn't say. I think the obvious answers are Street Fighter, Resident Evil. But I think that is going to be for me. So
That's a good answer.
We've got Arkham from Holly, we've got my one there, and we've got James, you've said Silent Hill. Right, so we have now had two topics, got a little bit of time left. Whose topic is it next?
I
I
think
didn't
Roy
give
gave
my
his
answer,
answer, did he?
actually. No.
Roy,
Two
you're
weeks in a
supposed to
row,
lead
you've done
in.
that to him.
It's all right.
No,
I'll
he's
let him
supposed to
off.
Back him.
lead with his. He's supposed to lead in with
Roy,
his
that
answer.
basically
James
means
did
you're
that.
off. You're
I
off the
was,
podcast. Get off.
I know, yeah, I take the hint. Well, I said it, and then Tony
It's
said,
the
"You can go,
diagonal
Holes."
PS2 games in the background. It's too much for my
Yeah, I don't
OCD.
have
Look how
space. Yeah.
diagonal.
No, I said it, and then Tony said, "Oh, Hold, you can start," and I was like, "Oh, maybe you'll get to me at the end." And no, it's okay, it's okay. No, my actual answer was Pokemon Gold and Silver, because I believe it's such a big jump from like Red and Blue. And I
Yeah.
think Gold, Silver, and Crystal are like the default second generation, the second games. I don't actually have my original cartridge. I have the Heart Gold, Soul Silver ones, but I just think they're just leaps and bounds ahead, because you essentially had the whole of the first game into the second game, because you could go back to the original Kanto region, catch all the Pokemon from around there, battle all those gym leaders. The game had a night and day cycle that affected kind of what Pokemon you caught, what people you encountered, sometimes what items you got as well, because things like grew across the day and night. And you had sprite animations, so like when you saw the Pokemon, it moved, like the birds flapped and the rats kind of skittered around. And I just think that's probably in my opinion, that's the greatest sequel, Pokemon Gold and Silver.
You know what
That's a
that
good
sounds
shout.
like? You know what that sounds like?
Go on.
Every other Pokemon game that ever exists.
I've never played a Pokemon game.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
That's
You know
why I'm
what?
leaving this conversation to these two down here.
I'm slagging him. I'm slagging it off, but I buy it every year, and I
I
still
know.
play it.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you
So
got to that because I was about
Yeah,
to say that before you
I think that
start.
there's such a jump between the first and the second gen, and then Gen 2 to the new gen. It's just kind of very, very similar,
yeah,
to be honest with you. But they only really planned to make three generations. They didn't really plan to make any more. Like the OG guy, they kind of like pressured him to do it. So maybe
And then
that's
they
why
made a lot of money.
that's all. That's the only reason, isn't it? Really, that's the only reason. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go with how different 1 to 2 was in Pokemon Gold and Silver, in my opinion.
yeah.
Right. Now that I have not forgotten, Roy, we have the next subject up. So we've had James's, we have had Roy's, and I think that is now with you, Holes.
Yep. Mine this week is going to be, in your opinion, what is your favourite or best launch title of any console of any generation?
Launch title or launch as a package? Like the
Okay,
best
we'll go
launch of
launch
a
as a
console?
package. Go launch as a package because obviously the
We
newer the
can't do that,
console is,
though.
there's so many launch titles that come with it. So
Not really. There's only about 3 or 4 each one, isn't there? There's not many.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
many,
you're
no.
right, James. I Googled this earlier to get a list of every console's launch stuff 'cause when Holly let us know what the question was going to be. And I was quite surprised to see a lot of consoles have got very lackluster games that come out on release.
mm,
And it's the article I was reading to get the information had the launch titles from every region as well, whether it's Japan, US, and the European market. And oh boy, did
yeah.
we get stifled over in many a case when it comes to launch titles. But anyway, it's a really good topic. Such a variety to
I
choose
agree.
from. But go on, Holly, what would yours be?
I would say, well, I love the Game Boy, don't I? So I'm always going to resort to the Game Boy. And obviously, in Japan and in Europe, to be fair, one of the launch titles was Super Mario Land. So
It
that's like
was.
Yes.
absolutely, in my opinion,
So,
revolutionary. Yeah. So in Japan, obviously, you had Alleyway, Baseball, obviously Super Mario Land, and Yakuman. But I've never played Yakuman, so I don't actually know what that's like. But as soon as it came to Europe, North America, they got rid of Yakuman anyway. But they obviously added tennis and Tetris. Now, don't ever get me
tennis is a
started
good
on
game.
Tetris. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, this is
good
the
game, but it's
classic.
not. I've said this, yeah. It's a good game. It's not a launch title.
Oh,
It's
you're
not a
talking
launch
about
title.
Tetris. Listen, the
Yeah,
world will disagree with you on that front, I'm afraid.
it's a good
I'm
game, and
I'm
it's a pick up and play. But I don't understand that it's not a launch title. Well, neither is baseball, to be honest, or alleyway. But
I think what you
I've
got to
picked from the best
remember,
of a bad bunch.
I think what you got to remember with the Game Boy when it came out, what was it, 88 or 89?
89, yeah,
All
89.
right. So the Game Boy was just like a more advanced version of Game and Watch at the time.
Yeah, yeah,
And so those games, just the fact that they was moving and not just an LCD game, pretty
yeah.
much shocked everyone. It was had everyone's jaws wide open. So to
What
play a
year did
game,
Sorry,
go on,
what year did the Sega Genesis come out? Does anyone know?
89, I think.
See,
No.
okay,
Uh,
if that's 89 and Game Boy was the same year, you had Sonic the Hedgehog as a launch title for the Sega Genesis. So it's like,
1990, yeah, Mega Drive came out.
so it's,
Um,
it wasn't,
Sonic came out in 91.
yeah.
Mega Drive was
okay,
definitely the two, because Alex Kidd was meant to be, or Kid Chameleon
Well,
was
I'm
meant to
just,
be their mascot.
I'm
It
just looking at my
was, and
top
obviously,
for Mega Drive, and it says 1990 on the back.
yeah.
okay.
Um, in
Isn't
Japan,
it
I think
crazy
it
that like
was
2 years made all that difference?
Mm.
massive,
Do you want to play that? Oh,
absolutely massive. Is that
Yeah,
the
but
cement factory?
yeah,
Brilliant.
lucky
I
sod.
had so many great hours playing that as a kid, Cement
yeah.
Factory.
Got the Zelda one as
Um,
well. Game and Watch.
what's the other one that Mario and Luigi in the factory with the cardboard boxes?
No idea.
Where they got a factory and it was just basically on a conveyor belt. Um, I had that one. I had the blue Mario one that my aunt brought me over from America, which was basically Super Mario Brothers, but in an LCD form.
They're so
I see it
expensive
all the
now.
time, very much so. I had the opportunity to rebuy that about a year ago at London's gaming market for about £65, and I
For
turned it
that.
down, thinking I would get it cheaper. How wrong I was.
Yeah,
How
now
wrong I was.
about
I'm not
twice as
seeing
much
it for
now.
any less than 140 now, something like that.
Mm,
Um, but for me, I'm gonna go. I had to look through all of the lists earlier. Um, and I'm gonna go with the Mega Drive. And I'm basing that purely on what came out in the European region, not the Japanese one or anything like that. So the Mega Drive European launch, which was November 30th, 1990, because it did come out in Japan in 88 and it came out in the US in 89. We got it obviously a bit later once we had the marketing deal over here with Virgin. You had Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, good game. Obviously, that was meant to be the mascot. Altered Beast, which at the time was everyone loved Altered Beast at the time. It's become a bit of a joke now, Altered Beast, hasn't it? But at the time, everyone loved Altered Beast. Columns, not my cup of tea, but it gave you a bit of variety. Golden Axe. It's Golden Axe. I love Golden Axe. It's brilliant. I could play that all day, every day. Space Harrier 2. You had Super Thunderblade, and then you had Thunder Force 2 as well. For me, that's a brilliant lineup to come out on day one. And when you consider you had games like Super Shinobi that probably was a month or two down the line, they definitely came out firing, trying to get rid of the whole NES Nintendo dominance over here. Because Nintendo hadn't really started dominating over here at that point. It was all Sega. Nintendo kind of got into the UK market quite late. Their first attempt was an absolute failure. And then once they got the licenses to the Turtle game, the Batman game, and they started advertising that on UK television, I know that's what captured me to go out and buy an NES. But before that, it was just the presence over here was zilch. But for me, yeah, I've had a look at what has come out on each title, on each console rather, and the Mega Drive for me was. I don't think you've seen such a variety of stuff since. If you look at the launch titles that come out on consoles at the time, the latter day consoles, if you start looking, I don't know, maybe it's just me and my taste in gaming how they've changed, or maybe just because they've not changed. They're quite lackluster, and there's nothing really that comes out on day one on a lot of consoles for me now. Which means if I'm buying something on the first day, it means I'm probably be taking home one game and sitting waiting forever. I'm looking at you up there, Switch 2. But yeah, Mega Drive for me, Genesis, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so Hollie's got Game Boy. I'm going with Genesis. James, what's your pick for a launch console? Best launch?
You just mentioned it. Mine was Golden Axe. Love that game. Absolutely brilliant. You used to have so many hours fun with that move. Well, we used to take it in turns on the two-player mode.
Yeah.
Great game. I think it was one of the first two players on the 16-bit what we was playing that really capitalized everything. It was literally it was amazing at the time.
Well, I think out of that list that I just mentioned, James, that is the only two-player game, unless you want to kind of consider Columns to be a two-player game. I guess it is a two-player mode.
Well, technically,
it's not the same, is it?
No, it's not. Well, co-op. Let's go with co-op then.
Did Altered Beast have a two-player mode? I know it did in arcade. Did that carry over to the Genesis / Mega Drive?
It did, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't have enough friends to play at school then, or
Yeah,
they
you only
didn't have
need
enough
one
friends.
friend.
Cheers. There you go. No, honestly, I never had a Mega Drive as a kid growing up. It was one of those consoles. I had a Master System. I went to the NES, to the Super NES, and my only real experience of playing the Mega Drive was going around to friends' house. You couldn't have two consoles in your house back then. If you did, you weren't going to my school. Let's put it that way. You was too rich to be going to my school if you had two consoles in your house at the same time. It was a case of sell that one, get the new one. So yeah, I think what are you going with Mega Drive as well, James?
Yeah, definitely a Mega Drive. It was just literally when we looked at them before, it was literally leaps and bounds above the others.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, what you're saying, right? The more modern systems, it's becoming a bit more lackluster now. What's coming out on day one? It's like the PS5. How underwhelming was that one? Even the PS4 wasn't great.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
What was Switch 1? What was, I can't remember.
So you had Zelda, didn't you?
Mario Kart 8, yeah. Zelda.
That wasn't
Launch day.
Are you sure that was launch day? Breath of the Wild was launched. I don't think Mario Kart was.
Mario Kart 8 wasn't a launch title. I'm shocked.
I don't think so. Let me double check. So I've got this
think it was.
article here that's fairly detailed. Let's have a look at the Switch.
Oh, you
Eighth
had 1-2
generation.
Switch.
But
Oh
that's
my
what I'm
God.
saying. It was terrible. You had 1-2
That's so bad.
Switch. You had ARMS, which was a franchise that absolutely failed for Nintendo. A new IP that never really took off. And then you had, what was that one
Nintendo
about the
Switch
two?
Sports, was that one?
No,
No.
You made that
no,
game up, Holes.
Nintendo Switch Sports? No, I haven't. You.
no. There is
I think
obviously
you.
there is a version, but they took
I
about
think you have. I think
four
you
or
have.
5 years.
Yeah, it
They
took a while.
they took about 4 or 5 years to bring that out, which was a bit of a shocker because of the success of Wii
No,
Sports. You would have thought you
Mario
would have
Kart
thought
came out
differently.
about 2 months after, it says here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really thought that was. Well, I bought
no.
my Switch a few months after it came out and had that with it. That's what, yeah, that makes sense.
So the main game, and this is what took me a long while to buy a Switch because the main selling point was um, the Zelda game.
Yeah.
Which was obviously available as well as the last release on the Wii U. And I'm not a Zelda fan, don't hate me, but there was no reason for me to go out and buy that. You've got the Zelda game, then you've got like what you said, ARMS, couple of other games, and you had that one about two pair of scissors or something. Can anyone recall what that was called? Do you know
Wasn't
what
that
game
one
I'm
two
on about?
Switch?
No, no, no. There was one that was
Pair of
Oh, I need to
scissors.
find. I'm going to Google Switch One launch games.
I never got really into the Switch until pretty recently. So when
Oh,
Callum
Snipper
was
Clips.
talking about it for so long,
There you
it's
go.
like you actually realize how many good games are on that system.
It's a good,
Yeah,
great
look.
library.
Yeah.
So this is what you got, really. I mean, yes. What was it called, Roy? Snipper Clips.
Snipper Clips,
I've
yeah.
never heard of that.
It
Sounds
came out
absolutely
on launch
diabolical.
day.
It's
It
crap.
is.
Yeah. It's
It's
just like a
well,
Wii
it got
remote
good
game.
reviews, but I don't think people had many other games to really review at the time on the Switch. There weren't much
You never know.
available, but
We might cause it all to spike.
you never know.
Well, all
I've
50
got
of
five.
us.
I've got 5 copies sitting at the back
Yeah,
there. No,
jokes on
I haven't.
jokes on the
Trade him
listeners.
in,
We all bought
quick.
50 copies each yesterday.
James, we'll take them down to Black Country and we'll overcharge for them. All right,
I will
definitely.
definitely do the store now as well. I've got the tables.
Yeah, yeah. While we're here, let's give a shout out to organisers of that. I think we're all going to be going down there to the Black Country Gaming Market in October the 26th. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
You're stalling. You should know, James.
I know. I'll
How
worry
many
about it on
tables
the
have
day.
you bought? Have
It's gonna
you paid for?
You can
it's
only
gonna
have
get
two.
Connor to do all the work, can't he?
Yeah,
That's why he's
What are
not
you going to be
fast. He's like,
selling? Have you been like doing some secret deals that we don't know about?
yeah, quite a bit.
it's always
Ah,
hustling, James.
got any Game Boy?
No.
That very
I hope it
elusive.
can come with
No,
your store then.
Well,
you will on the day. I bet he'll bring something especially for
she'll
you
be
to
there.
entice
I'll
you to
just put a
spend
big
your
Zelda
money.
thing up there. She'll be there.
No.
So I'll just put a big Zelda standee there. I'm sure you'd
Oh yeah,
turn up.
yeah. But I'm not paying
Oh
your
yeah,
price.
but
My prices are free.
exactly. So she's not paying your price. She's just going to be taking it
Exactly.
away.
I'm just walking away with them under my top.
So
Um,
I'll call a copper. Don't worry. I know one.
Yeah, and
yeah,
me.
a
Stuck on the other
couple. I
side of the
know.
living room.
They'll take ages to turn up, James. The thing will be finished by then.
She wants to be next to Holly.
But yeah, I want to give a shout out to those guys, Dana and sorry, what's the other guy's name, James?
And
And Dana and Ant over at Hidden Chest Gaming. Check it out. I'll leave a link to not just their shop website, but also their gaming/fair that they organise, the Black Country Gaming Market. Next one is coming up October the 26th. I went to the last one. I think Hollie, James have been to at least 2 or 3.
yeah,
Really good affair. Very intimate in terms of the people there. You can have, you know, very good chats with people. It's not overwhelming. Prices were reasonable as well, and the venue was pretty good. I enjoyed it last time. I think they said that it was quite dark in there last time, but all the lighting seemed to be sorted out, and yeah, I quite like that venue. It was a bit different, not what I expected, shall I say?
Yeah, it was a good
Hmm.
day out, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, it's fun. You're coming this time, I think, Roy.
Yeah, well, it's the week after the Cardiff one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It
After the
is, yeah.
Cardiff, yeah.
I'm gonna have
So
no money.
yeah,
I'm
it'll
just
be an
gonna turn up. Hope for the
expensive month.
best.
I'm still coming. Yeah, I'm still going. I'm still gonna be. I'm gonna steal off of James's stall, so I don't need money.
He just swapped with a
That's
weird
what I
app.
was going to do, you know.
I'm just gonna ask for James for a discount on everything and to walk away and to say, "Oh,
Mate,
I'll
you can
send
have
you the money
anything you
tonight."
want.
I'll pay you later.
Ah, no, you're good as gold, mate. In all honesty, it's more a case of the day out.
Yeah,
Like I
same.
said, it was a really nice time down there. Got a CEX that's local. We all went out, had something to eat. So yeah, check that event out if you're looking for something that's a little bit on the alternative side and not just your typical gaming market. It's nice to see another one flourish. Um, right, so I think we've all gone through today's topics. I think we'll cut it off there. We
You
will
left
be
me out
back with
again, but
an
it's
He's
fine.
left you.
episode
You left.
3.
It's all right. I'll take the hint. I'll take the hint.
We went on to Black Mark. I'll edit all this to where don't worry, so it won't look like it.
Oh,
Hollie's
please keep
messaging me
it. That's
saying,
what
"Can you
makes it
Don't
please?"
keep
funny.
it in, it's funny.
I'll edit
Oh
it somewhat.
God, the forgotten child.
Yeah, yeah,
Roy, I
literally.
did think you was asleep
Literally,
a second ago.
Roy is the middle
No,
child. No one cares about him.
I just wanted to talk about games with my friends.
Who's
Oh
there?
God.
Me, Holly,
Right,
and Tony, and who?
Some guy, some
come
white
in,
guy.
Roy.
Just this guy
Before
that follows
before
us around
before you
everywhere.
have to
It's
go,
really annoying.
Roy, before you go to bed, let's get your answer in, mate.
I'll be really quick. I think the Dreamcast
No,
actually has a
take your
banging
time.
lineup. Yeah, I think the Dreamcast is a really good lineup. The European launch had Sonic Adventure, which obviously didn't age very well, but it's still quite enjoyable. Was a really good 3D leap for Sonic, and ticks a lot of boxes.
Sure.
Sega Rally 2 is still really good now. Virtual Fighter 3, that's really good. Power Stone, everyone wants to play Power Stone.
Power Stone
Blue
and launch
Stinger,
game.
yeah, yeah. Blue Stinger was like a Resident Evil kind of survival horror rip-off where you could just like
You know what?
combo the
I've always
zombies.
wanted to play Blue Stinger, Roy. Is it worth
I,
buying?
I had it. I got that and Sonic Adventure when it came out, and I couldn't find my Blue Stinger. Got my Sonic here. Blue Stinger's somewhere behind the back of it all.
It
But
sounds like you're
yeah,
looking for some sort of tablet. I can't find my Blue Stinger.
can't find it.
Sort
But it's really
sort
good
of thing
because
you buy out of a men's toilets in the pub in
Is it
funny
Weatherspoons. I've
enough,
just
you
bought
exclusive
a pack
to
of Blue
Dreamcast?
Stingers.
Dreamcast, yeah. Funny enough, you do buy things from a men's toilet in Blue Stinger. The men's
Is it,
toilets are the save room.
is it
Yeah.
exclusive, or did it launch on other consoles?
No, it was a Dreamcast exclusive. It was
It
Oh,
really
was,
okay.
yeah.
good. You shoot things, but you can also punch. So like one
Because it
guy, like
was.
he does like sumo moves on them, and it's on the zombies. It's really good. Yeah,
I
but there's
remember that was
also
published by Sega, wasn't it? But made by
yeah,
Activision.
yeah. Dynamite Cop. Dynamite Cop is like one of the hidden gems on the console.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
like the
good game.
Die Hard arcade. It's like a Golden Axe, side-scrolling Streets of Rage beat 'em up, and
Yeah, it's
Dynamite
kind of
Cop's like
like
a
bit
50 quid
bit
game.
similar to Fighting Fox, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
In
really,
how
really
it
good, to be honest
plays.
with you. Yeah.
I
Um,
played that on the Saturn. I had that on the Saturn. I had a Jap copy on the Saturn growing up.
yeah.
It was more you got away with the licensing stuff on that one, so it was actually Bruce Willis in,
Uh,
in that version.
yeah.
Obviously he didn't give the go ahead to give his licensing rights or whatever it is over here in Europe. Um, but Blue Singer's a good one. Where you've I'm gonna actually chuck that into my want list now. James, if you come across that and it's on your stall at the Black Country Gaming Market, let me know in
Yeah.
advance. I'll be
I have a
buying it.
copy for sale actually in my store. I
Did
do.
you?
There you go.
Yeah. Well, actually, when you came, I didn't have it, but I did a big trade-in with someone, and he gave me a bunch of Dreamcast games for
Oh,
for a SNES game, and that was one of them. So I got a really good mint
I
copy.
would have looked at that to be honest with you, because you had a really good selection of stuff out on the day at the London Gaming Market, but everything you had, I already had, sort of
Yeah,
thing. Do you know, it was like there was a lot of good stuff. It's like I've already got it, so it's like you was pointing
building
stuff
up.
out to me, going, "This is a good one. This is a good one." And you can say, "Yeah, we've got the same taste here because I've already bought it."
We do actually, yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, we do have that sort of thing. All right. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up for now. It's been another good one. We will be back for another episode. We don't really put a time frame on these. We'll get as and when. Just like to say as well, we do have quite a few people that express some interest in coming on to the podcast. A couple of other YouTubers, a couple of other just random game collectors. Everyone is valued, so we will get people here and there. But like I said at the beginning of the video, it's about us getting our own kind of back catalogue together first. So let us get 3, maybe 4 of us guys just trying to gel, making the podcast our own, and then we'll start getting a couple of guests involved. The one thing I will share as we finish up today is Ross over at Bahahaha. I hate pronouncing his channel because I always fear I'm going to stumble it. I think he will be our first guest. Ross loves talking about video games. It's one of his passions. And I think he will be a real quality guest, and he'll bring a lot to the table when we do so. But anyway, thank you guys for your time once again. And for anyone that's watched, thank you. Like, comment, share. Leave your thoughts in the comments below as well to any of our answers. Please take sympathy on Roy. I've forgotten him twice today. Tell me I'm a horrible host
Who?
and that I'm bullying him. So yeah, if you've made it to the end here, please put in brackets, sorry, Roy. And we'll know how many
Or
made
where's
it
Roy?
this far.
Well,
I've
sorry,
been,
middle child Roy.
do you know what? I've
Middle
been so
child Roy,
unwell
let's
this
do
week
that.
as well.
Middle
I've been
If
child
so
you're
Roy.
unwell.
where's Roy, we
I
can go
can't
back to
believe
the
it.
start of the video with your video game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we change your thing for next episode, please, Roy, to R Rafferty to middle child Roy?
Middle child. Yeah, I will do that.
We'll do
I'll do
that.
it just for you. I will. I will.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And yeah, thank you all once again. And Roy,
Thanks, everyone.
I'm going to let you lead next time we do this, so you can forget me.
Okay. Well, no, I'll never forget you. No, I never. I will. I
Yeah,
will.
look, he's thinking.
Thank,
Caps,
thanks,
take
guys.
care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks again.
Bye,
See you on
everyone.
the next one.